Welcome to Module 4 of Innovation Essentials. In this module, we'll be looking at the idea of designing what I call catalytic questions. First, let's run a recap of what we looked at in the last module, which was looking at insights, specifically progress, coming up with the idea that actually the progress that we try and make in many contexts is the same over long periods of time. It's the way that we deliver progress that changes, and the ability of us to hold on to progress and not get too distracted by the technology and the products is a very big deal in innovation. We talked through a way of performing what we called an innovation X-ray, of breaking down what's really going on inside any context and finding the smallest possible unit of innovation. It's a really powerful way of creating safe, lower risk innovation. We looked at some of the different levers of control that we're often looking for to maximize or minimize inside the innovation process. And then we talked about how you take all of those ideas and develop a portfolio of innovation experiments where you're looking at incremental innovation right through to disruptive innovation. So today we're going to move on and look at how you take the insights that you've developed and turn them into, or allow them to inform, questions that are going to provoke creative eruptions. So this course, really, the book Be Less Zombie, is really about how do we pursue more bold innovation. You go into most organizations, there's no shortage of ideas. They tend to just be incremental, and there's a desire to see more bolder, more game-changing ideas show up, and that's very much the idea of this course. So catalytic questions is what we're going to be looking at today. Just as a reminder, we're looking through the lens of this innovation process that goes right from the start, which is identifying opportunities and insights, through to identifying business models. And today we're looking at questions. So that's where we're going to be working in the process. So three things that we're going to be looking at today. The first is questions as a hidden innovation superpower. I really believe that questions are underestimated in their potential to trigger the things that leaders and managers are looking for more of, and that's breakthrough ideas. So let's just dig into that a little bit. How to design a great question. You might think, well, that's obvious. Well, we'll see. I want to share with you some techniques that I believe can make any question better and sharper and more effective for your innovation. And then finally, putting them into practice. How can these questions show up day to day and actually make a difference inside your business? So this is going to be running alongside chapter 19 of Be Less Zombie. If you have the book, if you don't worry, you will get value from this. You don't have to buy the book, although of course you're very welcome to. So let's get started with the first section, which is questions as a hidden innovation superpower. In the first two modules, we talked about the power of the status quo, specifically in how it can dull us, really, to the important new ideas and possibilities that are around us. Now, as I said just now, the outcome of this, the power of the status quo, is no shortage of ideas inside a company, but they're generally fairly predictable, and they're most likely to be the ones that are also being developed inside your competitors' meeting rooms as well. So what I call catalytic questions is it's a category of question that's really laser focused on delivering an important outcome, but also breaks through the power of the status quo and unlocks bolder and more original ideas. And that's a simple truth that most organizations overlook. There is this undeniable cause and effect between great questions and better ideas. So with that in mind, surely question design should be seen as important. In fact, it probably should be seen as important, I'll get my words out, as idea generation inside organizations. I mean, you'd think if one creates the other, the two should be held in equal value. Well, absolutely, of course they should, but how many companies do you know who pursue question design as deliberately as they do idea generation? And how many companies think about question design as a source of competitive advantage? Well, probably none. Which means if you choose to add this tool to your innovation armory, you'll be taking a step ahead of your competitors in their innovation capability as well. And just as an aside, many of the organizations that I've worked with over the years to this day still don't have a great joined up approach to innovation. There are huge opportunities for most companies for putting some basics in place because most companies are not doing this stuff. So let's move on to look at what makes a great catalytic question.